alkynes. Alkynes. You know what are alkynes? Say alkynes are, that is, see the definition again. We have already seen the definition of alkynes. Alkynes are also known as acetylenes. Acetylenes. That is the old name. Alkynes. That is the new IUPAC names. Now, what are alkynes? Do you remember the definition? Say alkynes are open chain. There is no ring closure. Open chain, unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons. You have seen that already. They are open chain unsaturated hydrocarbons with triple bond. With a carbon-carbon triple bond. Triple bond. And there is a general formula also. If you remember, the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. CnH2n minus 2. Where N is the number of the carbon atoms. Since there is carbon-carbon triple bond, N is equal to 2 onwards. The minimum number of carbon atoms, that must be N is equal to 2 because there is carbon-carbon triple bond. So let us begin with a simple compound with 2 carbon atoms, say C2H2. And the structure of this molecule, it is a CH, triple bond CH. See here, the triple bond is between carbon atoms. Between the carbon atoms. Not between hydrogen and carbon, as it seems to be. It is between the carbon atoms, CH triple bond CH. And how to name this compound? In the IUPAC system, the nomenclature is like this. You take the name of the corresponding alkane. The basis for naming is alkane always. So take the name of the alkane. And from the name of the alkane, ANE is replaced by YNE. Here there are 2 carbon atoms. And the corresponding alkane is ethane. From ethane, you replace ANE by YNE. So the compound is ethyne. It is ethyne. The common name is acetylene. Acetylene. Acetylene is the first member among the alkynes. Among the alkynes, the first member is acetylene. That is why alkynes are also known as acetylenes. The first member, the homologous series, is named after the first member of the series, acetylene. So these are also known as acetylenes. You come to the next higher homologue. To get the next higher homologue, what do you have to do? You add CH2. You add CH2. So the next homologue will be C3H4. CH2 is added. And what will be the structure? There should be a carbon-carbon triple bond. So CH, triple bond C, and then there is a CH3. CH3. Now, hydrogen atoms 3 plus 1, 4. Carbon atoms 3. There is a triple bond also. And how to name this compound? You take the name of the corresponding alkane. Then alkane with 3 carbon atoms, propane. From propane, From that, AN is replaced by YNE. So the compound is propyne. It is a propyne. The next one, you add a CH2. You add a CH2 because the difference between the two consecutive members is CH2. So you can add a CH2. So it is a C for H6. C for H6. And the structure. Here we have 4 carbon atoms. And the structure can be two structures. CH triple bond C, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. That is one compound. The triple bond is between the first and the second carbon atoms. In this compound, the triple bond is between the first and second carbon atom. We can have another structure also. It is a CH3, C, triple bond C, CH3. See these two compounds. You take these two compounds corresponding to C for H6, corresponding to C for H6. CH triple bond C, triple single bond CH2, single bond CH3. Then CH3, single bond C, triple bond C, single bond CH3. And how to name these compounds? These two compounds. You take the name of the corresponding alkane. So an alkane with the 4 carbon atoms, it is butane. It is a butane. And from that, you replace ANE by YNE. So it is butane. Both these compounds are butynes. Both these are butynes. So you have to mention the position of the triple bond. In the first compound, the triple bond begins from the first carbon. And so it is a but 1-ine, but 1-ine, or a butane 1, or a 1-butane, 1-butane, or a butane 1, or a but 1-ine. Similarly, you name the second compound. That is also butane, but the triple bond begins from the second carbon, and therefore it is a but 2-ine, but 2-ine, but 2-ine. Or you can name it as 2-butane or a butane 2 also. 2-butane or butane 2 or but 2-ine. That is ine triple bond. You are mentioning the position of the triple bond as 1-ine and 2-ine. Okay. You have a close look at the two isomers. Say but 1-ine and but 2-ine. Okay. It is clear. Now I am going to ask you a question. These two are isomers. And what type of isomerism is shown by shown by these compounds? Yes, Vidur. So what type of isomerism is shown by this?
Chain.
Chain. For chain isomerism, there should be a difference in the carbon chain or carbon skeleton. Carbon skeleton. But here we have a carbon chain containing 4 carbon atoms, straight chain containing 4 carbon atoms. So there is no difference in the carbon chain. Yes, come on. There. So this out. Then what else? Which is the functional group here? The reactive group here. That is the carbon-carbon triple bond. Carbon-carbon triple bond. I told you in the first compound, the triple bond begins from the first carbon. So 1-ine. The second compound, the triple bond begins from second carbon. So it is a 2-ine. But 1-ine and a but 2-ine. 1-ine, 2-ine. 1-ine, 2-ine. Come on.
Position. isomer.
Yes, position isomerism. Correct. Yeah, right. That is position isomerism. These two are position isomers. So please don't say the answer blankly. You just think of it for a moment. You will get the answer. You will get the answer. Okay. So that is a position. This is to our position isomers. So we can name the compounds based on the IUPAC system by simply replacing ANE by YNE. ANE by YNE. And before YNE, you must mention the position of the triple bond also. That is why here we are writing one ion and a two ion. Okay. So the general definition of alkynes. Then we have seen some examples and some names also we have written. Now let's see the methods of preparation. So preparation of alkynes. Preparation of alkynes. Let us see two important methods. So many methods are there. Just remember at least two important methods. Say one is by the hydrolysis of calcium carbide. Calcium carbide. So from from calcium carbide, calcium carbide, calcium carbide. And what is calcium carbide? Calcium carbide is CaC2. CaC2, that is calcium carbide. Now, calcium carbide is mixed with water. That is mixed with water, say H2O. Then there is hydrolysis with the formation of C2H2. That is our ethyl or acetylene. Ethyl plus calcium hydroxide. CaOH twice. To balance the equation, you may write 2H2O if you want. And C2H2, ethyl or acetylene is obtained, carbide. Do you remember the chemical used for the artificial ripening of fruits? Have you read it in the paper? Paper? Eh? No. We have no that bad habit of reading the paper. Good. Keep up. That's good. You should never open the paper. Okay. So the chemical used for the artificial ripening of fruits, calcium carbide. It is calcium carbide. So calcium carbide is mixed with water and that solution is sprayed or the fruits, mango or say even say banana, all these things. Then say the very next day the color changes. It becomes yellow, yellow in color. See, it is not actually ripe enough, but there is artificial ripening. And it is due to this ethine produced. There is formation of ethine. When calcium carbide is mixed with water, there is formation of ethine, acetylene, and that leads to, that acts as a hormone for the artificial ripening of the fruits. Okay. So calcium carbide is hydrolyzed for the preparation of ethyl or acetylene. So it is only for the preparation of ethyl or acetylene. So one word about say calcium carbide. You think of the formula of calcium carbide. You know how is the formula of a compound written? We have studied that in the 10th standard. Suppose we have a compound between A and B. A and B. See, the valency of A, the valency of A is equal to X. Suppose valency of A is equal to X. Valency of B is equal to Y. Valency, I have written valency on the right hand top corner. And how to get the formula of the compound formed? To get the formula of the compound formed, you just interchange the valencies like this. This is the way. You will get the formula of the compound. If it is so, what will be the formula of the compound formed between A and B? Then it is just exchange the valences to get the formula. So the formula of the compound will be uh, say what will be the formula of the compound? Exchange. So it will be here it is Y and it is X. So the compound is AYBX. AYBX. Okay, that is the way to write the formula of the compound. Just simply exchange the valences to get the formula of the compound. For example, you take formula of water, formula of water, hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen. The valence of hydrogen is equal to 1. Do you remember the valence of oxygen is equal to 2? Is equal to 2. And so what will be the formula of water? You simply exchange the valences. Then what you get? Say H2O1. Usually 1 is not shown there so that the molecular formula of water is equal to H2O. Agree with that? You simply exchange the valences. Okay. Similarly, we can take another example. Say you take another example to illustrate the formation of a compound between two reactants with a different same valences. For example, you take say reaction between calcium and oxygen. Calcium and oxygen. You know valence of calcium that belongs to second group, group 2, and valence is equal to 2. Valence of oxygen, normally we have studied that oxidation number, that is equal to 2. 2. So what will be the formula of the compound calcium oxide? As before, you can exchange the valences. So it is Ca2, Ca2, then O2, 2, 2. So you take the average, and the average will be CaO. If there is a divisible number, you can take the average value so that the molecular form calcium oxide is equal to CaO. Got it? Say valence of calcium is equal to 2, valence of oxygen is equal to 2. If you exchange or if you don't exchange, it is Ca2O2. Exchange as before, it is a Ca2O2. Now from Ca2O2, you take the average formula. So it is a CaO. That is the formula of calcium oxide. Okay. We may take say aluminum nitride. Aluminum nitride. Aluminum nitride. Valence of aluminum, it belongs to 13th group. Valence is equal to 3. Aluminum is equal to 3. And a nitrogen valence is equal to 3. So what will be the formula of aluminum nitride? See, Al3N3, it is the same as ALN. It is ALN, molecular formula of aluminum oxide. Okay. Now, let us think of calcium carbide. You come to calcium carbide. Calcium carbide. If it is so, if you follow the valency method, say what should be the formula of calcium carbide? Calcium carbide. Calcium valence is equal to 2 and carbon valence is equal to 4. Remember? Covalency of carbon is equal to 4. And what will be the formula of calcium carbide you expect? If the valency rule is followed here, then it is a Ca4, Ca4C2. You take the average and it is a Ca2, Ca2C. It seems to be Ca2C. But here, calcium carbide, I have given you it as CaC2, just reverse. Why does this happen? Because in calcium carbide, carbon is not existing as the calcium carbide actually. It is not a calcium carbide. We call it as calcium carbide, but it exists as calcium acetylide. This is actually calcium acetylide. Calcium acetylide. Acetylide. See, C triple bond C minus minus. Okay. C triple bond C minus minus. So C2, what is the oxidation number of C2? C2, that is equal to minus 2. And calcium plus 2. So calcium carbide is CaC2. See? No. This is the way. It exists as calcium carbide. It is not simply existing as calcium carbide as it is seen in silicon carbide, etc. It is not like that. In calcium carbide, so-called calcium carbide, calcium and carbon exists as acetylide, C2 minus 2, C2 minus 2. So that calcium acetylide or the so-called calcium carbide is CaC2. Nobody is going to ask this question, but I was trying to make it clear. That's all, nothing else. So it is not simply the carbide form, it is in the form of a acetylide. That is why the formula of a calcium carbide is taken as CaC2. Otherwise, if we follow, strictly follow the valency method, then it should be Ca2C. But it is a CaC2, that is because C2 exists as acetylide, C triple bond C minus 2 and calcium plus 2, so that it is CaC2. Okay. So by the hydrolysis of a calcium carbide, say acetylene or cation is formed. Let us think of the second method. It is dehydrohalogenation of vicinal dihalides. Dehydrohalogenation, hydrohalogenation, dehydrohalogenation of vicinal dihalides, dihalides, vicinal dihalides, vicinal dihalides. We had seen this term the last day, vicinal, vicinal. What is special with the vicinal? Vicinal is coming from vicinity, neighborhood, immediate neighbors. So, vicinal dihalides will have the halogen atoms on the vicinal carbons. That is, carbon atoms, say, at the neighboring position. Neighboring position. The halogen atoms will be on the neighboring carbons. So they are called the vicinal, VIC, vis. Vis, that's the short form of a vicinal dihalides. Okay, what is dehydrohalogenation? What is a dehydrohalogenation? D means removal or minus. D. Then hydrohalogenation, hydrohalide, HX. So dehydrohalogenation means, can you say now? Removal of HX minus HX. Removal of HX minus HX. That is a dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation. HX hydrohalide. HX hydrohalide. Hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen bromide. Hydrogen iodide. And removal of HCl, HBr, HI, etc. That's called dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation. So, dehydrohalogenation of vicinal dihalides. Let us take, for example, say CH2, single bond CH2, and here there is chlorine. Here also there is chlorine. So it is a vicinal dihalide. It is a vicinal dichloride. Vicinal dichloride. Now you remove HCl from this. For the removal of HCl, for a dehydrohalogenation, what is the reagent used? We had seen, last day we had seen, the reagent used is, now just to go through the notes, at least now, Vidar is turning the pages. Okay, so what is the reagent used for the removal of HX? Come on, Sunny. Preparation of alkene from alkyl halides. Dehydrohalogenation. Alkene. Preparation of alkene. Nia, do you remember what is the reagent used for a dehydrohalogenation? Removal of a, you must say, Anthony. Anthony, please come. Come on, come on. We must know that. Achu, Achu, what is the reagent?
Sir, BR,
Pardon?
BR,
PR. You just go through the methods of preparation of alkenes. What is the first method given? Adi? Adi, what is the method given? Aditya?
Sir, alcoholic KOH.
Yes, that is the reagent. Alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH. That is also useful. Alcohol. It is not only for drinking purpose. It has got other industrial methods, applications also. Okay, so alcoholic KOH. So whenever alcoholic KOH comes, immediately you think of a possibility of a removal of HX. HCl, HBr, HI, etc. Punya, Nia, Michael, Steffi, Anthony, Emmanuel, Rijas, Malaviga, Naurin. If there is a alcoholic KOH, there is a chance for a removal of HX. But one condition is there. Removal of HX. Hydrogen is removed. Which hydrogen is removed, Naurin? Which hydrogen is removed? All these are the basic concepts. You need this. I told you, a number of times I told you. You have to remember which hydrogen is removed. Come on, Steffi. Can you say which hydrogen is removed? There is a particular term used. Nandana. Which hydrogen is
Beta hydrogen.
beta hydrogen? Beta hydrogen. Naurin, Steffi, Emmanuel, Nia, Anthony, Malaviga, Michael. So I am talking to you all. I am talking to you all. Okay, alcoholic KOH. There is a chance for removal of a HX, dehydrohalogenation. But for dehydrohalogenation, the hydrogen is abstracted from, the hydrogen is removed from the beta carbon. Beta carbon. So the hydrogen is beta hydrogen. Beta hydrogen is removed. Since beta hydrogen is removed, it is called a Michael. Michael, since the beta hydrogen is removed, what is the reaction known as? Michael is not there. Rajas will be there. Rajas, you can say. Rajas,
Beta elimination reaction.
that is beta element. Correct, correct. You open the book just, at least now you open the book. I can hear the sound of opening the book now. Okay. So beta hydrogen. So there should be beta hydrogen first of all. Remember, you make thorough all these basic points. There should be beta hydrogen. So beta hydrogen is removed. Now let us go back to the compound taken, the example taken. And it is a, what is that compound? CH2, single bond CH2. Let me write it again. Say CH2, Cl, CH2, Cl. That's the compound. And the compound is, the IUPAC name of this compound is, suppose there is no chlorine atom. Suppose there is no chlorine atom. then it is a hydrocarbon. What type of hydrocarbon? Alkane. Single bond, alkane. So what is the name of the compound? If there is only carbon single bond, two carbon atom alkane. What's the name of the compound? Two carbon atom alkane. What is the name of the compound? The
Ethane.
ethane. Okay, ethane. Now, on ethane, there are two chlorine atoms. Two hydrogen atoms are replaced by two chlorine atoms. So it is named as, you practice this. So it is named as dichloroethane. Wait. Dichloroethane. Dichloro means there are two chlorine atoms. The two chlorine atoms can be on the same carbon or different carbon atoms. Now the two carbon atoms are on the two different carbon atoms. And if you number the carbon atoms, see it is like this. So the two chlorine atoms are on the first carbon and the second carbon. So you must mention the positions of the heteroatoms, the functional groups. So they are at 1,2 position, 1,2 position. So the name of this compound is 1,2 dichloroethane. 1,2 dichloroethane. That is the IUPAC name of this compound. And in the common system, this compound is named as ethylene dichloride. That is called ethylene dichloride. Ethylene dichloride or 1,2 dichloroethane. And this is heated with alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH. Then there is elimination of HCl. HCl. Cl from carbon atom 1 and H from carbon atom 2. Cl from carbon atom 2 and H from carbon atom 1. So 2HCl. Then you get CH triple bond CH. CH triple bond CH. And it is our ethyl or acetylene. I shall show the structure. See again. Same H to Cl. Say like this. Then C H to Cl. That is the the expanded structure. The complete structure is like this. CH to Cl, single bond CH to Cl. Now, this is heated with alcoholic KOH. HCl is removed. How is HCl removed? Hydrogen is taken from the beta position, neighboring carbon. So removal of HCl like this. See? Similarly here also, beta hydrogen is removed. What is left? CH, CH. And there will be formation of a triple bond. Two more valences are left on the carbon atoms. So there is formation of a CH triple bond CH. Okay, acetylene. If you take, instead of this, if you take 1,2 dibromoethane, then you will get to the same compound. But instead of HCl minus HCl, there will be elimination of HBr. But one thing, we will not get a free HCl or a HBr because the reaction is in presence of KOH, which is a base. So immediately it reacts with the KOH with the formation of KCl and H2, potassium chloride and water. That is concerned with the mechanism of the reaction. Now I have shown you what is a dehydrohalogenation. It was to show you dehydrohalogenation. I have used minus HCl or a minus HBr. You will not get a free HCl or HBr. Instead, you will get only KCl or KBr and water if you go through the mechanism of the reaction. So we are not supposed to study more detailed mechanism of this. So there is the removal of HX when vicinal 1 to 1 to 1 to vicinal dihalides are heated with alcoholic KOH. There is formation of the uh, the alkynes, for example, here CH2Cl bond CH2Cl, alcoholic KOH, there is a C2H2, C2H2 or a CH triple bond CHO. That's our acetylene or the ethyl. Okay, so these are the two methods. Now let us see the properties of alkynes. Properties of alkynes. Of alkynes. These are hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons. Acetylene that is used as fuel. Do you remember oxyacetylene welding torch? In the welding purpose, acetylene gas is used. They are not directly using acetylene gas. Instead, they use calcium carbide. Calcium carbide is mixed with water. Acetylene is produced. Then that acetylene that is mixed with the air and that is burnt. Then we get a carbon dioxide and water and heat energy. And that is what is done in the welding centers where they use the oxyacetylene blowpipe, oxyacetylene welding torch. We make use of acetylene gas. I told you they are using calcium carbide. Calcium carbide is mixed with water, then we get acetylene gas. Or you can directly use, usually they make of this. Have you seen the welding centers in which the oxyacetylene welding torch is used? Have you seen that? That is not the electrical welding, not that. Not electrical welding. You know, say a candle like say flame, you can see that is used. That is acetylene flame. That is acetylene flame used. Okay. So being hydrocarbons, this can be used as fuels also. The lower members are in the gaseous state. That's right. Solubility. They are less soluble in water. All these things are there. But let me take two important reactions, very important reactions of alkynes. One is its acidic character. Acidic, acidic character. Acidic character. Alkynes containing hydrogen atoms. Alkynes containing hydrogen atoms on triply bonded carbon. Hydrogen atoms on triply bonded carbons are acidic. The hydrogens on the triply bonded hydrogen carbons are acidic. You know, there is a triple bond like this, and suppose there is a hydrogen atom on the triply bonded carbon atoms. For example, CH triple bond CH, that's our acetylene or ethyl. These hydrogen atoms are acidic. If the hydrogen atoms are acidic, these hydrogen atoms can be replaced by metals. Do you remember the reaction of acids with metals? Acids with metals, sulfuric acid plus zinc, hydrogen plus zinc sulfate. Similarly, here also, the hydrogen atoms can be replaced by active metals. Can be replaced by active metals. For example, sodium. So, acetylene reacts with the heated sodium. Then the hydrogen atoms are replaced. So, you can write the equation like this. It is heated with the sodium. Then what happens? Now, hydrogen is replaced. This acidic hydrogen is displaced with the formation of C, H, triple bond C minus plus half H2, half H2, hydrogen is displaced. And this is what will happen to this one? This will react with the sodium, giving sodium salt. Just like our reaction between, say, HCl plus sodium, HCl plus sodium. Remember, hydrogen plus NaCl. Similarly, here also, the hydrogen, acidic hydrogen is replaced by sodium. And this is called monosodium acetylide. That is the salt. Monosodium acetylide or monosodium ethanide. Ethanine, say ethyne, ethyne. From that we have ethanide. The compound is ethanide, ethyne, ethanide or acetylide. So this compound is monosodium, monosodium acetylide or ethanide, ethyne, ethanide, monosodium acetylide or ethanide. That is a displacement of hydrogen. But the reaction will progress. It will not stop there. And it will be reacting with another atom of sodium. The remaining hydrogen is also replaced. Then you get Na plus, then C minus, triple bond C minus, Na plus. Both the hydrogens are replaced. There is a displacement of hydrogen. We get the disodium salt. And the compound is called disodium acetylide or disodium ethanide. Disodium, disodium ethanide, ethane, ethanide or acetylide, acetylide. This is to show that the hydrogen atoms bonded to triply bonded carbon atoms are acidic. The hydrogen atoms bonded to the triply bonded carbon atoms are acidic. They are acidic. So you may ask me, if okay, say you take a compound like this. Say for example, say compound CH3, C triple bond C CH3. A compound like this. And which is this compound? 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, propyne. Then a triple bond is on the second carbon. And so this compound is 1, 2, 3, not a propyne, ethyne, ethyne. Oh, it is butane, yes. Nandana said it. It is a butane, butane. And the position 2. So butane, butane. See, in butane, butane or 2-butane, there are hydrogen atoms. Unfortunately, there is no hydrogen on the triply bonded carbon atom. So it is not showing the acidic character. So what about the hydrogens bonded to the single bond and a double bond? They can also show the acidic character, but that is not of a noticeable amount. So it is seen that the acidic character increases as, say, CH, triple bond CH greater than CH2, double bond CH2 greater than CH3, single bond CH3. That is hydrogen atoms attached to triply bonded carbon atoms are most acidic. Then comes the doubly bonded carbon atoms. Then the least acidic character for the hydrogens attached to the singly bonded carbon atoms. And that is due to the difference in the hybridization. The difference in the hybridization. Here there is a sp hybridization. Here there is a sp2 hybridization. And here there is a sp3 hybridization. So more acidic character for the hydrogen attached to sp carbon. Then attached to sp2 carbon. Then the least acidic character for the hydrogen attached to the sp3 carbon. Okay. Similarly, when the number of hydrogen atoms decreases on the triply bonded carbon atoms, hydrogens decreases, then also the acidic character decreases. For example, say you take this CH triple bond CH. There are two hydrogen atoms attached to two triply bonded carbon atoms greater than CH3, C triple bond CH. Only one hydrogen atom attached to triply bonded carbon atom greater than CH3, C triple bond CH3, and it has the least acidic character. It is not showing acidic character at all usually. So that is the order of the acidic character of the uh, hydrogens seen on the triply bonded carbon atoms in alkynes. Okay. So let us proceed with the discussion in the coming class. Let me stop. Thank you.